dynamism and the vibrancy of our neighborhoods. And the financial part, of course, will be of interest to the budget chief, who's also here today, Councillor Gary Crawford, no stranger to these parts. Used to live here and, of course, represents the area just immediately to the east. We are in the home stretch of finalizing the 2017 budget, and the Budget Committee is in deliberations, as you know, and has received deputations as to how to close a gap of $91 million that existed in the staff-presented budget, and they have to do that over the next week and a half or so. And we've heard Councillor Crawford tell us that it's been a tough budget cycle. They all are. They all are in business, too. They all are for families. I mean, budget making is a difficult exercise because it involves choices. It involves us having to look at constraints that we have to make in order to balance the budget, as we must do by law, which I think is a good thing. And it makes us look at all of our spending across the board. So this year, we ask all of our divisions and agencies, from the police to the library to everybody else, to identify efficiencies in their budgets. And that means looking at ways to do things differently and setting targets for our spending. It's been a very valuable exercise, and it's produced a lot of insights for us, not to mention a lot of savings, tens and tens of millions of dollars of cost savings, which have actually been implemented in this budget without controversy. Things where, had we not done the exercise of going through, wouldn't have been identified, but when they were identified and actually removed from the budget, nobody said a peep. And I think that's exactly why you do this kind of exercise, and it also shows you, if you don't do it, how much is at stake in terms of money that's then not available to provide basic services to people. We simply can't go on squeezing services for a growing population from the property tax base alone. And we can't cut vital services that mean so much to so many people. So that is why last fall, working with Councillor Crawford, I put forward a plan to build transit and fix traffic, which of course is a #1 priority that people identify across the city, but at the same time to protect services for the people of the City of Toronto. And the plan included my support as the mayor and as a member of council, for straightforward, sensible tax reforms to fairly produce some additional revenue, or to look at it a different way, to produce some savings in this case from things that we don't do going forward. And that, of course, in turn helps us to remedy this gap in our finances and to continue to provide excellent services to people. One of these straightforward, sensible tax reforms is the city's vacant commercial and industrial property tax rebate, and precisely the elimination of that rebate. The rebate subsidizes property owners for empty space or boarded up stores across our city, and for that matter, across the province. When it was first created, the idea made sense. It was a promise to help businesses through a period of economic uncertainty years and years ago. But the truth of the matter is that in the meantime, through very buoyant economic times, the city has subsidized property owners to the tune of $367 million between 2001 and 2013. Those are the most up-to-date numbers that we have. And almost 50% of those payments have gone to the owners of empty spaces in the downtown core, where property values are skyrocketing. So think about that. We are subsidizing people to keep space empty that is increasing almost hourly in value in the downtown core, money that is then being taken away from the city's ability to use it to provide basic services to people. In one ward downtown, for example, one of the downtown wards, $82 million in money has gone to some 400 plus property owners in that area where the values have been skyrocketing. What it ends up doing, in effect, is rewarding property owners who keep their space vacant, while at the same time they are watching their property values rise. Unoccupied commercial properties have a negative impact on the neighborhood's health. The stores that Councillor McMahon mentioned that are interspersed with stores that are active businesses is not something that is good for the overall health of this neighborhood and the retailers in this neighborhood. The boarded up stores are unpopular with residents. They are, as Councillor McMahon said, an eyesore, and they impact on the liveliness of Toronto's main streets. We just did have a walk with Councillor McMahon along Queen Street, and we saw 6 properties vacant anywhere from 1 year to 25 years. Now, not all of them are collecting the vacant property tax rebate, but some of them are. This is an energetic neighborhood. It's one of our most energetic neighborhoods. It's one you'd like to look to as a model. And yet, these properties are empty. And at least some of the reason for that, I hope, is the fact that they've been receiving an incentive that almost encourages them to be kept empty. They could be a restaurant. They could be a coffee shop, a fitness center,